Just one more quick clip. It's the evaluation. It's worth 6 of the 50 marks, and it's really important that you don't forget about it. Okay, there's 6 easy marks to be gained here. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can save it till the end of the exam, or you can have it open up and you can do it as you go along. I'd recommend doing it as you go along, but it's a 10 to 15 minute job maximum. Okay, just think about these 3 bullet points. That's all you have to do. Explain your important design decisions. Okay, important design decisions that you're going to comment on might be the colour scheme. What made you choose the colour scheme that you did? Thinking about the logo that you were given. If it doesn't say in the exam, thinking about the logo you were given, why did you choose the colours that you did? If you can, when you say why you chose those colours, also justify it, give a reason that links back to what it says in the exam paper, then you're really going to get some good marks on the evaluation. Other things that you might talk about are as important design decisions are layout of the page. You might also talk about any image editing that you've done. You may also choose to talk about the navigation system. Those buttons, if you make rollover buttons, this is the sort of place that you might just say why you've done that, why you chose the colours you did, why you did it in the first place. Remember that we want to create a professional looking website here, and in most professional websites, when you move your mouse over a button or a navigation bar, there's some response to show that it's that there's interaction there. If you could make a comment about those 4 things, saying what you've done and why you've done it, you will have picked up some serious marks from those 6, probably 4 of them, which means then you've got to suggest some further improvements. Now we've looked at this one, okay, even this very good one can be improved. Have a look at the exam paper. Was there something you couldn't do? If you ran out of time or you just didn't know how to do it technically, that's one of your improvements right here. So Ahmed Zaid didn't know how to center that page. Okay, might have lost him 1 or 2 marks overall, but he didn't know how to center it because he hasn't done it. But if he's quick and clever in the exam, he might realise that he's not done that, and then here for his further improvements, he might have said, with more time, and if I'd known how to, I would have centered the page because it would have looked nicer and a little bit more sort of professional, perhaps, if it had just been down centered in the page, and also it was one of the criteria in the exam. Another improvement he might have made or talked about is that the difference in font size on these 2 pages. Again, with a bit more time, I would have perhaps just edited some of these assets a little bit, made them a bit smaller to give me a bit more room so that the text could be consistent. That's another thing he might have said. He may also have wanted to talk about how with a bit more time he maybe would have created an animated banner for the top using Adobe Animate, where perhaps the logos fade in and the text scrolls onto the page, because again that would have been a little bit more eye-catching, a little bit more interesting and a bit more exciting for the target audience. Some simple things that you're always going to be able to say. If you haven't made an animated banner, making an animated banner would have been a suitable improvement. Similarly, having those rollovers on the navigation bar, if you haven't done, a suitable improvement. So do take a look for your website. Do make sure that you talk about 3 or 4 things that you've done where you've made a decision about something, and just say what you've done and why you've done it. And then if you can pick out a couple of improvements at the end, you'll have a decent evaluation. It doesn't need to be massive and long, it doesn't have to be pages and pages. Like I said, it's a 10 or 15 minute task, but 6 of the 50 marks, it's well worth picking them up. That's just over 10% of the marks on this one activity, and it's relatively straightforward to pick them up, so make sure that you save some time from it. And that's the evaluation, and that really is the end of this series of clips. Good luck, you can do this. You've been building up to it since year 8 when we first started making websites, and you are going to be brilliant, there's no doubt about it. Every single one of you can make a website that's very, very good today. So good luck, and I'll see you, like I said, at 12:30 to hear how it's gone.